Fucking intro is what I would like to say, but this video will have to serve as a reintroduction to me, who I am, and what I do. And I've been away for far too long, guys. After Hurricane Ian last year, work got slammed. And I do mean slammed. We've been busting our asses left and right to keep people going. I've been working 70, sometimes even 80-hour work weeks. And it's just kind of let my hobbies and life in general just fall to the side. Depression hit like a bitch, and after that I was just a big ass pile of stress and feces. However, I'm not gonna let that be the case any longer. I want to get back to weekly uploads for now, just 2 a week, Mondays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 20 hours UTC, however you say that. They're probably both going to be on the same game just for the sake of progressing, but there is going to be one exception to that, which I will mention later on in the video. I'm also going to try my hand at streaming at least twice a month over at twitch.tv/RedDevilGaming. I'm going to put the link on that down below, or on the screen, whichever I happen to do. As for the other games I was playing, Splatoon, Terraria, Subverse, I will get back to them, eventually. Splatoon will probably be just to grind the seasons out, Terraria for whenever Brian wants to play, and Subverse, I literally have no clue. I do know it's the Blythe update, and that shit do be looking delicious. So, let's start off with who I am. Alright, so for those of you who haven't seen my videos before or aren't one of the 6 people, 7 maybe, ballpark, that I probably sent the link to this for, my name is Red Devil. I go by Dev, Red, or RDG. I've been a YouTuber for several years, on and off with Let's Plays mostly. This is my, hopefully, final channel, branching into more of the VTuber side of things, as you guys can tell here. My main goal is to play games that I enjoy, or things that I think are cool or interesting. You know, whether it's old as hell, stuff like Shining Force, or it's a side game like Pokemon Coliseum, or in the case right now I'm playing Mega Man. I just want to enjoy the games that I enjoy, and I have no shame in that. I play a little bit of everything. Side-scrollers, RPG, shooters, you know, you can pretty much name it. Odds are I've probably played it. Gaming for me is not just the fun with the pixels on the screen. It's just a great way to relax and escape the world for a time. So I want to share that with you guys. Now that I'm finally back, though, I do have some projects in mind that I want to, you know, start on. So, one of those being, hopefully, I've already mentioned it before, but to finish Calamity. I'm honestly hoping to get into a new world again just to start it, and then just go from there and see how it goes. I know they added a whole bunch of new stuff, and I gotta see how that goes. There's also, of course, Subverse for the copious amounts of plot. And, you know, I've been itching for a Souls game, actually. I'm dying to play something like Code Vein again. But there's also JRPGs, you know, Dot Hack Sign, not Dot Hack Sign, Dot Hack GU. Who knows where any of those might lead. However, there is one that is a much bigger and significantly heavier project that I will be undertaking. This thing will take a lot of blood, sweat, tears, money, hours, and even possibly my sanity. Oh boy, this project is what I like to call the L.O.S.E.R Dex. So, for those of you not familiar with what that might be, it is a Pokemon challenge that I created for myself. It is the Living Origin Shiny Evil Ribbon Dex, aka the I'm Fucking Insane Dex. See, I got this idea from watching a YouTuber called Lyra Made a Website, and they wanted to make their own Living Dex as well, and they wanted to do it just by basically catching everything and then all the shinies maybe, and then I was like, okay, cool, you know, it's a Living Dex across all the gens. I thought to myself, okay, how can I go even further beyond? I wanted to do a Living Shiny Dex at first, so I wanted to get every single Pokemon I can get as a shiny. Then I saw that they had origin marks. I was thinking, the Gen 1 and 2 ones, they give you the special Game Boy origin marks. I thought, how cool would it be to have every single Pokemon caught in their generation of origin? So 151 for Red, Blue, Yellow, the next 100 in Gold, Silver, Crystal, so on and so forth. So far, that's the L.O.S.E.R Dex, Living Origin Shiny. Originally, it was just going to be the L.O.S.E.R Dex with the second S for Shadowmons from Coliseum. And they do get some unique stuff if you take them all the way to Gen 9. But then I thought to myself, that kind of sounds silly. Plus, there was also the ribbons, which would then turn it into a L.O.S.E.R Dex. So I changed up the second S to an E for evil, because, you know, the shadow Pokemon are quote-unquote evil. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, this might be batshit insane, but maybe this is the challenge that I want to try out. At least for myself, anyway. Because this kind of stuff just does not happen that often. Like, I don't know anyone that's ever tried to do something as vast of a challenge as this. I've looked into it, at least, and haven't seen anybody do it. So I'm hopefully the first one to try it, and I'm going to document the entire process. Now, this is not something that I can just jump into right away. There's a lot of prep that needs to go into this. Like, I've been thinking about it. Do I start with Gens 1 and 2? And if I do, how do I record and stream that? Because 3DS capture cards, they're basically non-existent. I don't want to record it off my phone. I want to record it in high quality. Do I run with an emulator, or do I wait and buy myself a Nintendo new 3DS so I can actually do the software method? Or do I start in Gen 3 so I can start with Coliseum and then trade it to games like Ruby or Emerald or Fire Red? Because there's a lot of stuff that would go involved in that too. I would need to get a Game Boy link cable or a GameCube link cable so I could trade it to those consoles and then, you know, push it forward into the newer games. And then I would have to use my DS and transfer them up and all this other stuff. It'll take time. Oh wow, I just got murked. Thanks, Proto Man. Shut up, Chod. Nobody likes you. Let me actually just focus on this for a second. There's also, of course, starting in the newer games, but playing it in reverse, I feel like that would be a pain in the neck. You know, multiple cross-gen transfers across way too many games. I'm thinking I'm going to definitely start with the longest trade distance, but obviously that is still up for debate. Gen 3 would probably be the starting point for that. So I would probably start with Coliseum, trade it into Fire Red, and then transfer up to Heart Gold Soul Silver for Gen 4. So that way I can get the ribbons from Kanto, because I'm not touching the Let's Go games, and then just transfer through Gen 4, catch all the ribbons and mons there, etc., move on and so forth. You see why this is going to be a pain in the ass? Because for any games that I don't own, I would have to go buy them. That's expensive. I've owned every single copy of Pokemon to this date, but whether they're in working condition is the issue. Most of them don't work anymore, or I've lost them. So at this point, it's like, okay, could I run it with emulations? But then it's like, how are you going to trade that into your main games? That's not really a thing that I could do. Then it's like, what about streaming it? Like, I could stream it through the emulator and then find a workaround to transfer it into the main games. I'm sure there's a way to inject it, but I'd rather not. I want to have a physical copy of these games. So the problem is that some of these older games, they do sell for quite a bit of money. And while I do have a lot of the games, I don't have all of them anymore. But I have the time, a job, patience, and a strong desire to never collect them again. So I do what I gotta do. Also, there's stuff like glitches, you know. The trainer, what is it? The flying trainer glitch, the one that lets you get Mew and all that kind of stuff. I'm okay with using glitches to get certain Pokemon. I'm not gonna use it for all of them, especially for Gen 1, since the stuff like getting Gengar early as possible. I'm going to do all that kind of stuff just to speed run the game. Just to make it easier on myself, because for Gen 1, there's only like 5 mons that I'm going to shiny hunt. It's Mew, the birds, and at least one of the 2 Snorlaxes. Everything else, absolutely not. I'm going to do the shiny Ditto glitch when I get the opportunity to do so I can get myself a shiny Ditto in Gen 2, and use that to breed for all the other shiny mons and make it easier on myself there for Gen 2. Like, Gen 3 going forward is when the actual difficulty kicks in. But I'll figure out a way. You know, lots of patience. Besides that, there's not going to be much that's going to be off the table for that. I will do what I have to catch all these shinies. Whether it's Masuda method, breeding, whatever I have to do. Just make sure I get them all. That is the main goal. The difficulty being, of course, you know, multiple starters, multiple legendaries, doing the runs over and over and over just to get them. That's going to be the hard part. So it's definitely going to be a long project. Like, that's not something that's going to be very quick. Now, you might all be wondering when all this stuff starts. After all, like I said, this is my first video in nearly a year. It's been, I think, 9, almost 10 months now. But you guys just have to wait just a little bit longer. If this all goes well, my very first video should be uploaded on Monday, July 24th. I will figure out when the first stream of the Loser Dex is, and I will let you guys know. As for what game I'm going to be playing first, I honestly don't have any clue. I might play Mega Man, Terraria, you know, Code Vein, Dot Hack GU, Carrion, Life is Strange, Devil May Cry 4, really anything. I'm in the mood to play a lot of games, and I just don't know what to do first. So, if you guys have a recommendation, let me know. Just leave it in the comments below. Now, I'm sure you guys have noticed, for the few people that have watched my other earlier videos, there's a new VTubing model, as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner. This was created by my loving wife, the ever so talented Des Luna. I was actually writing this script while she was drawing this model for me, so shout out to her for that. This new model, while for now is only sitting on a Mario question block, will evolve as time goes on. You know, some days it might be a Sonic TV screen box, or any other square-shaped object from video games that's popular. Who knows? But there'll be new poses, new animations, and more. You know, this is made through the ToonTuber style that was created by Scott Falco. Love the dude and love his work, and I felt the style was easier to work with. One day I might bring back the 3D model, but this is definitely enjoyable too. Like, it took a lot of time to get it basically to get it working, but I'm happy with how it came out. Alright, if there's anything in particular you guys want to see me play, leave a comment down below. Hit the like button, maybe subscribe if you want to see me play it in the future. But that way, if I have it, or if you recommend the game to me or anything of the sort, I'll check it out. If I'm a fan, I'll play it. Other than that, guys, I think I've talked on long enough, so fucking outro. See you next week. Oh, before I forget, there will be a link to our very own Discord server for you guys that I like to call the Sinner Sanctum. Click down below to join. I'll see you there.